together. So, what a wonderful piece of ice we got. Like a diamond.
Wow.
So clear. And with such shapes.
Was it in the water?
Yeah, it was on the water, in the water. So this piece of ice is about 1,000 years old. Yeah, so now I'm holding 1,000 years old ice. And I will give it to you later after my speech so you can take some photos, so you can touch it or even lick it if you want. You know, it's fully vegan. It's also gluten-free, lactose-free and even sugar-free. So feel free. But now I put it on side. Yeah. So it doesn't melt so fast in my hands. And this piece of ice I got in my hands comes from this glacier here on my right called Vatnajökull, which means a glacier of lakes. It's the biggest glacier in Iceland and also the biggest one in Europe. It has over 8,000 square kilometers and covers about 8% of the whole country. All 7 glaciers here covers about 11%. So you can imagine how enormous it is. I like to think about Vatnajökull like an octopus. So like octopus has 8 legs, like this glacier has 30 tongues or outlets. And this one here on my right is the biggest one. And it's called Breiðamerkurjökull. Yeah, easy peasy to pronounce, right? Like all the Icelandic names. So maybe someone wants to try to pronounce it.
I lose.
No volunteer. Well, I'm not surprised at all. Thanks to Breiðamerkurjökull, we have this lagoon here. That means that every single iceberg is calving directly from this area. Yeah. And this lagoon is called Jökulsárlón, and she's pretty young. She started to form in 1930, so she's about 90 years old. Before that, this whole area was covered by ice, and the glacier reached the bridge over there. Yeah? And it's about 10 to 12 kilometers between the bridge and the glacier. Yeah? It's also the deepest, yeah, and now Jökulsárlón is about 25 square kilometers. It is also still growing, mostly because of the ice melting. Yeah? It's also the deepest lake in Iceland, with the deepest point 286 meters. So it's quite deep. Actually, it's so deep, so if you put Eiffel Tower inside, you could see only the top. Yeah? So we can say that it's so deep as the Eiffel Tower. And now let's go to our icebergs. Yeah, on my left, maybe some on my right. As you can see, icebergs have 3 colors: blue, white and black. Let's start with the blue one. So the blue ice comes from deeper part of the glacier. Due to the pressure from upper parts, the ice gets just so compressed, it has no oxygen inside, and it reflects only the blue wavelength, which is the shortest one. That's why we see this so blue. Yeah. They are not blue for real, we just see them as blue, so it's basically optical illusion. But when it gets exposed to the sunlight, it just receives more and more oxygen and also becomes more and more white with time. That's the reason why some of the icebergs are more blue and some of them are more white. Yeah. And as you can see, some of them looks a little bit dirty. Yeah, like this one on my left. Have some black stripes. Do you have any ideas what can it be?
Rocks.
Rocks? Yeah, not really rocks. Ash? Yeah, I've heard ash. What kind of ash? Human ash?
Yeah, volcanic.
Volcanic
yeah.
ash, exactly. 5 points for Gryffindor. So this is mostly volcanic ash. As you know, we have volcanoes in Iceland. They are pretty active. And glaciers here are built, let's say, like a cake or lasagna. They have such horizontal layers. So when there's volcano eruption, we have a layer of ash. Then when it snows, we have a layer of snow and ice. Then there's another volcano eruption, so we have a layer of ash, again snow, ash, snow, and so on and so on. That's why some of the icebergs have such stripes and looks a little bit like zebra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, we can see only 10 to 15% of the whole iceberg. The rest, 85 to 90%, is below the water. So most of them